all good, man. All right, well, they got the idea.
Welcome to No Items, guys. This is the weekly podcast by Team Solidarity about Super Smash Bros. Related content.
Yep.
This week, our subject is player playstyles and their relationship to the players' personalities.
Yep. But before we do that, we can talk a little bit about things happening a little bit and, how our weeks went too, obviously. Yeah. So if you want to start, you can.
So in the next coming, 2 weeks, there's a bunch of stuff happening. 3 weeks, really.
Yeah.
So this weekend is a Switch Saga?
Switch Fest.
Switch Fest, right.
AKA Switch Stuff and Shulk Saga.
Right. Shulk Saga, that's right. That's
sad
right.
that they didn't actually just say that.
It should have been... Well,
you have to open the gift box to figure out that there's Shulk stuff. That's Shulk.
There's a bunch of different... It's not clear.
Yeah.
It's not clear exactly that there's Shulk involved.
But nevertheless, it's Shulk themed.
And this is important for us, specifically because we've got a lot of people going down from Portland down to California. Yeah,
so the big names are... I don't know who else that isn't Team Solidarity related, besides Slowkey, but we have Silent Rain, number 1 in the state, and Jared is King 1. Nice save. Who is also PR'd. He is number 5? I think he's 5th.
Yeah, it's hard to tell right now because we're at the end of the season here.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I don't mean projected.
It's likely that it's going to change.
Yeah, I think he'll be higher, but I'm saying as of now, based on the last pair. Anyway, so he's going and he's super excited because he is a Shulk main, and I remember when he first heard about this, I think I was in a Discord group with him, and I was like, "Yo, have you seen?"
He was freaking out,
and he was freaking out, and he was loving every minute of it. So,
because this is the last chance for a Shulk related event, honestly.
Low key, he's not going to admit to that, but I think you're right because I don't honestly think Shulk's going to be in the. Are you talking about Shulk not being in?
Yeah, I don't think Shulk is going to be in the Smash 5, and if he is, then there's other characters that are going to be more popular. That are going to get their tournaments before Shulk.
Oh yeah. So he's super glad to have that.
Yeah.
And he is doing all the things. They have this theme called "I'm Really Feeling It."
Yeah.
And that has to do with it just being an all Shulk thing. Anyway, I looked at the projections for that, and Jared's supposed to... So what ends up happening is there's a single elimination.
Right.
And it goes all the way to the top 6, and then the top 6 do a round robin. And that top 6 round robin is called the true heir to the Monado. And whoever wins that is the true heir to the Monado.
The true heir to the Monado.
And so right now, Jared is projected to get 7th. And there's a lot of people in there.
Let's go.
So he 2GG knows who he is, or Smash GG knows who he is to a degree. Where
he was on, I was going to say 2GG knows who he is because we managed to get him onto one of the voting polls.
He might actually be projected to beat Kameme Shulk.
Well,
because it's Shulk, and he's projected to lose to Shuton because Shuton has a Shulk.
Yeah, interesting.
It's pretty good. I think it was Shuton who played against Ryuga at one of the sagas. I think that's what ended up happening and he was down 2-0, and then he reversed 3-0'd Ryuga with Shulk.
I don't pay enough to non.
You Gucci man, that's why I'm here.
Result.
You're good, dude. I got you. I'm pretty sure it was Shuton. Yeah, no, because Kome is the one that obviously mains Shulk.
Yeah,
he should be going. We'd be weird if he didn't go.
He might.
I'm sure at least he was sought after. That'd be wild if he wasn't.
Yeah.
But Shuton's definitely going, and he was the one who pulled out Shulk against Ryuga.
Sure.
Game 3, down 2-0, and reverse 3-0'd him.
Got him.
And that was funny.
That's awesome.
It's actually just funny. But I think Jared could beat him. I think Shuton's just got good fundamentals, but I feel like Jared can just... I don't know what's going on. I think Jared can just cheese him. Oh, is it super sensitive?
Yeah, it's this right here. If the wire rubs up against it, then it gets ornery.
Yeet. All right, cool. So some cool things before we get onto our topic. I just want to mention some cool things. I was looking at
There's also a. I just want to.
Go ahead.
There's also a Shulk house.
Yeah, Jared's trying to fiend. He's fiending to get in there.
I think he's allowed in there, but Jason was over here earlier. Yeah. I was talking to him. Silent Rain.
Is he denied?
He got denied.
He doesn't play Shulk
because he doesn't play Shulk. But he got a little bit triggered.
How'd you get triggered, man?
Because he wanted to practice with all the good players. But it doesn't mean Shulk.
That was main Shulk, bro. He didn't make the sacrifice.
He didn't make the sacrifice.
A sort of fast at certain times character that has amazing range but terrible frame data. That's what happens sometimes, man. You can't have everything.
He plays Bayonetta. Like, I don't understand. Like,
a Bayonetta is terrible, said no one ever. So, but I was looking at their projections, the bracket, rather, and it's very interesting. Chasen has a chance to make noise, but he'd have to defeat... Okay, first of all, he's happy because he was telling me about this. He was saying he doesn't want to play against characters that are just uncommon and obscure. He doesn't want to lose to the matchup based on lack of knowledge. And he doesn't have to now. Finally. But you know who he has to play? He has to play two good foxes to get out of pools on winner's side.
Okay, who's he
has to play? Okay, he'll play his round 1, which is some Shulk he should beat. And then he has to play Charlie.
Yep, that's a fox.
So most likely Fox. He's not going to go Bear. I think he's going to go Fox. And then, if he beats him, most likely you have to play Exax. And I told him, I think if you can beat Charlie, you can beat Exax. Because Exax isn't bad, but like...
They remind me of, like... I don't know, I feel like they're around the same level.
I'd give it to Charlie. Like, they're like Exax, I think, is like right below him.
I guess Charlie, you're right. But I feel like they're around the same level.
I think, like, Charlie's a more...
Like, you're not going from, like... Charlie to Light or Charlie to...
No, you're not going to get bamboozled with that.
Like, you're not going to get...
You're not going to get, like, thrown for a loop.
It's still regular Fox things instead of, just Light things, you know?
Charlie's more option coverage, and if Chasen can get around that and can combo him, like, honestly, he'll be ready for Exax's stuff. Because Exax is more, like... He's, like, a slightly discounted version of Larry combined with Light. Right. That's actually what it is. Which, no, that sounds, like, terrible, but he's amazing. Like, he's good, but it's not... consistently good, right? Like, it's the long game. If Chasen stays with him, long game, he'll beat Exax.
I'd have just found a different way to say it than discount.
Not discount, like a lower evolved... That doesn't help. That doesn't help either. Like, okay, take it for what it is. Exax, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Developed.
Less developed. Less developed also sounds...
No,
that sounds too PC. They're going to appreciate me for just saying it for what it is. People say, okay, discount is like typical common term. Anyway, like how Bowser Jr. That we are roasting Bowser Jr. when we say it's a discount Sonic. So I guess I see what you mean. But it's all good. Anyway, if he beats him on winner's side, you know who he's going to have to play? Nairo.
All right, man, let's go.
If he beats...
Got to make that loser's run. Let's go.
If he somehow... I don't think it's going to happen. But if he somehow does it, it'll probably be streamed. Nairo's probably get streamed early on winner's side of top 32. Yeah, he gets so there's a chance Chasen will be in there, and that'd be wild if he beat him.
He needs to change his tag on Smash.gg
to have our solid prefix. It's okay, man. It's all good. It's all good because then
we need to just take Chasen. What's your password?
It's okay. This is what's gonna happen. I told him. This is literally gonna happen. You're gonna beat Nairo. I told him this. This is just facts. and then he's gonna like. He'll have his Twitter handle on the layout, right? When they're showing like
Silent Rain,
yeah. And then people are gonna follow him. I'm going to take the Team Solidarity account and be like, yo, good stuff to @SilentRain13, and he's going to retweet it. And I'm going to make him retweet it.
There we go.
And then they're going to know.
Force him to retweet it.
And then they're going to know.
So when I
think our tag is in there too. Our handle is in his profile, I'm pretty sure.
In his profile?
It might be in his bio.
In his bio, gotcha.
That's what I mean, not profile, his bio. I think it is. If not, whatever, we'll still do the same thing. So, he's
going
to be nice.
When he beats Nairo.
And then if he beats...
And then somehow, we get the Nairo win clout.
Yo, he's gonna be anti-Naifu Nation. Anyway, and so what's going to end up happening is if he does that, he'll have to play the winner of Light and Void. And Void's projected to beat Light, but that's not necessarily going to happen. Like,
that's pretty explosive.
That's literally 50-50. Because Light has beaten Void, and I don't know if Void's ever played Light since. Light is now lifetime 1-0 on Void. As far as recency, I don't know how long.
Going up against that perfect record.
So, Light can beat him. Void may have studied. Yeah. I'm sure he's studying it up. But anyway. I don't want to go too far into it. Jared has a decent
I'd say anybody that loses to Light goes, okay, and studies Light for a while afterwards. Like...
Yeah, a lot of them did, I'm sure. Because they all got thrown for a loop.
Because
Mr. R got wrecked.
Exactly, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mr. R got wrecked, Void got wrecked, not as badly, but Mr. R really got...
Because all these top players are used to playing, like...
Yeah, Nairo almost got wrecked at Smash 4 Boot Camp, reverse 3-0'd him, and then lost him in Winners Finals of Collision. That was an amazing tournament, by the way. If you guys haven't seen Collision 15, that was amazing.
That was fun.
Amazing. Lights Run... Dude, New England showed up. We're not even from... We're literally on the other side, but like I can't help but give props to that area.
Just like Light, man.
Light, Mars too. No, like Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid beat Salem, Mars beat the Buzz, Light beat Nairo and the Buzz.
That's a show.
In one tournament.
Yeah.
In the span of probably like an hour.
That was like New England.
Isn't that wild?
Is that New England versus Midwest?
No. It's like
Tri-State, I mean,
like it's a regional thing that pretty much turned into that.
Because I mean, like, I feel like they fight pretty often.
Yeah, because
considering
they're close.
They're close in terms of like how close they are.
Yeah, and so when they have regionals, like overclock.
When they have regionals, yeah.
Anyway, Jared's got Sam Sora in his pool, but I don't like. It's the same deal with Nairo. Like he's not going to see Sam Sora unless he gets out in winners, and Sam Sora obviously gets out in winners.
He's got to get.
Then he'll play Sam Sora, which honestly I think he can do it. Like. I don't know how many of these people know the Shulk matchup. I'm sure they're studying. I don't know. Like
I feel like most of the people going into this tournament
have studied.
Are going to know
the Shulk matchup,
or at least prepare a little bit for the Shulk matchup because
it's Shulk.
Boy, are there a lot of Shulks.
Yeah. So you think last question? You think the Shulk's gonna get top 8?
Top 8.
Because I'm not gonna ask if they're gonna win because that's silly. Sorry, Jared. I'm just being real, dude. It's freaking Shulk.
One Shulk in top 8.
Yeah, if a Shulk can squeeze their way in the top 8.
How many people are going in this tournament?
160 something, 161. Which is a fun fact that it's only 40-ish more, I think, than Port.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
My boys are doing it.
They're really doing it. And it's going up every day. And you know that in the last week, we're going to get another 20, 25 people, so...
It'll probably be around the same.
It'll probably be around the same, yeah.
Anyway.
That's our next subject. I'm going to say 1.
Okay.
I want 1. This is not what I think. This is what I hope.
I personally think...
I want at least 1.
Okay. Hey, what's good, Dunks? Anyway, so I think... Yeah, I think... Okay, no. Actually, no. I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say some gets to 9th. But if...
Okay, yeah, 9th is also pretty good.
Like last situation. But I think what's going to end up happening is if one does, if I'm wrong, that one person to do it is going to be Shuton. But that doesn't really count because he mains Olimar, but he will probably use Shulk to get there. And he may use Shulk in top 8.
So is the question Shulk main or person that plays Shulk?
Yeah, Shulk main, no.
I think Shulk main, no.
Yeah.
I think person that plays Shulk at some point in the tournament.
There aren't many, though. It's just like Shuton. Like, not many people have, like, a Shulk on the side.
Right.
So probably, if that is the case, it's going to be Shuton.
And the other question is, will we see Shulk in top 8? And it seems unlikely.
Seems unlikely, but if it is, it's Shuton, I think. I don't think anyone else is.
I wonder if...
I mean, if I'm gonna wish, Jared, my boy.
Let's go.
If he just has a tear, dude.
Jared is
the people would love him so much.
Oh my god,
like, if he get any Shulk that gets an upset tomorrow, is going to be adored. Because it's Shulk.
Yeah,
who's gonna be like, it's Shulk, that's so stupid. This character's
Shulk is busted, guys.
Shulkanetta.
It took us until the tournament themed around Shulk for us to find out that Shulk's busted.
Yeah. Shulk's busted when everyone plays Shulk.
Yeah, Shulk's busted when...
He's also terrible.
when Shulk is the meta.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And the anti-Shulk meta is just our meta currently.
I'm sure a lot of people would trade that for the Bayo meta. If you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Whew, bars.
Bayo's not as annoying as Shulk.
The Bayo meta.
For me.
They just gotta get Bayo meta. The Bayo meta.
Our next small subject is Port Priority 3.
That's also going to be lit.
Which is looking like it's honestly going to be like... I'm looking forward to this more than any other tournament that I've gone to besides EVO and Genesis.
Yeah. This is my favorite. This is going to be one of the best regionals. This is my most anticipated regional.
This is the most anticipated regional, easy.
Yeah.
And of the majors I've gone to, this is like close to...
Is it like in between regionals and majors?
Yeah.
In terms of like...
I'd say so. Well, because at this point, it's looking like it's going to be part of the...
Guaranteed. Smash Masters League. Yeah.
It's going to be part of Smash
Masters.
That's
hype, dude. That's hype.
Which there was a poll on the Washington that finished with like 93% in favor.
It's 96 to 4.
Oh.
At the end. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it this morning. Yeah. No, so
nice. So that got decided pretty quickly. The reason there was a vote rather than just we're in now was because we didn't want to spring it on people that weren't going to take the tournament seriously.
Yep.
So we wanted to get community favor first, and so
yeah. And
by we I mean like the TOs over there. That's
Gyromite
not actually
and
me.
Bam talked to Gyromite and it's like I want you to do a poll first before we like include that, just because of that your same reasoning, and we don't want to spring it on people. So
because like, can you imagine like if you're going to Port and you're going to be like, I'm going to play Ganondorf the whole
and then
tournament.
you find out it's part of Smash
you find out it's part of Smash Masters, and you're like,
I could have
not going to play Ganondorf anymore. And then you realize like you hadn't been practicing up the tournament and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they put out a poll, but it's going to be part of it now, which is awesome. Honestly, to me, it's validating, and beyond that, I think it's going to help the view of the scene from the outside.
Oh yeah. Honestly, that whole bot scandal thing that we didn't have any bots, but that whole bot scandal situation really helped. I'm gonna be real with you,
dude.
There's no such thing as bad press or whatever. You know that I don't know what that saying is, but
bad PR.
Yeah, like there's just no such thing, because all it did was help us out as long as we knew how to handle that, which we did. And
I'd rather have like a reputation for badass tournaments that kick ass with a whole bunch of people coming and well run and a good stream.
And people are going to remember that and not the previous thing. But the previous thing helped, in my opinion.
Hopefully.
No, yeah. I mean, like, look, I think this is going to be amazing.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh, you see. Also, I'm gonna roast them. I'm sorry. I have to. My boy DC stepping in. I don't know if you saw. I was talking to some people about this, man. I was like, oh my god. I was like, it was only a matter of time before the man who lives here was like, oh, our scene's getting some attention now. I might as well just pop in real quick, instead of using his national clout to actually help the scene. The scene did it on their own, without him, pretty much. I think I heard he went to a handful. I heard one from someone.
Here's what happened. The scene had all of the people in place to grow.
Yeah.
And started growing. Then DC moved up.
Really?
And they were like, we're going to grow even better and faster now.
And he's like, nah, B, you're good.
And he was like, on Twitter, he was like, talking like, oh, where's the locals in Seattle? Oh, I can't wait to get there,
Yeah.
And then just didn't show up to like anything forever. He showed up to a couple things.
He gonna show up. He gonna go to Port Priority 3 and hang out with all of the tri-state people.
And I was gonna this is the first port that he's going to, which is the Seattle Regional.
I wonder why.
The third one.
Wonder why.
And he only got confirmed for it yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday or 2 days ago. I think
which is like 2 weeks before the tournament. So end of the life cycle of this game, but. You finally got him, Seattle.
I'm going to meet my fellow Seattlean. I don't know how you say that.
Seattleite.
My favorite Seattleite. He's my favorite, bro. And Vinny, too. Let's go.
Let's go, Vinny. From Seattle.
Yo. Konga's emergence has helped unlock the DC package. And has allowed him to... I'm sorry. I'm glad DC's coming. Dear. I'm glad DC's coming. I just wish he would show up to more things. Hopefully, he'll show up to more things for Smash 5. Hopefully, I understand.
He's a busy guy.
I understand. Exactly.
He's traveling and stuff.
He's traveling, but come on, man! Like he went to one over the past. Like I heard one from someone, and I'm just gonna say, just to kind of give him a little bit of some room, a handful of tournaments throughout the course of 3 years. Yeah, a handful, man.
The first Facebook reaction to DC showing up for...
Was it angry or was it a wow?
It was a wow.
It's one of the two.
And then the first comment was
wow, who was this guy?
Was Manta asking, joke? Question mark?
Dude.
and then Jaromite replied, no bamboozle.
I'm glad he's aware too, Cause otherwise this would be awkward, bro. I want to get on commentary with. Actually, that's probably not going to happen because
it's definitely going to be.
It's going to be very, very locked in.
Pretty locked in.
Yeah, but if the boy can get in, I am going to throw some I'm gonna be real with you, like some lighthearted ones. I'm gonna be like, yo, man, this dude's
might as well, right? You got the time, you got the money. Let's go.
Yo, this dude's whiffing more than DC trying to get into a Seattle local.
This guy's whiffing more than DC's attendance.
Yeah. Bro, I might get pulled from by Serona or something.
Is Karma going to Port 3?
Karma? I don't think so.
I was gonna say.
I didn't see his name in there. That dude's been MIA, frankly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw him once 2 months ago, and he's busy, but he went to literally one thing.
It just popped in my head because he always talks about how much he dislikes DC for some.
Oh yeah,
bro. So I'd be like, that'd be funny.
I'd sign him up with DC. He'd just be doing this if you're DC, you're just like, I'd be done. All right. Let's actually talk about the topic. So I'm glad all that stuff happening.
You have a good week, man. You
been
went
good.
through some last start with Jason again.
Oh yeah, Quarter World stuff. Oh yeah, dude. So Quarter World bi-weekly that happens here in Northeast Portland or Southeast. Just kidding, Southeast. At some bar. I played. There was like 16 people, and I ended up getting second.
Big bracket.
Yeah, for Quarter World, the Quarter World average is
Dude,
like.
you know what fucked me up is I went to work. I was at work and they were like, actually, you don't have to do work today. I was like, cool. I got home and it was like just too late.
Dang, that sucks, dude.
To go to Quarter World.
Got to chill at home, but like that still sucks.
Yeah.
And I ended up. So Justice, a former PR player, showed up, and I was super surprised. But he showed up, and the way it went down, I saw him right before the bracket started, and then it didn't dawn on me, like within the minute to 2 minutes I had to realize this, that I should probably request that his seeding be changed, considering he's really good.
Are they seeding those tournaments now?
Sort of. Like they had Chasen at the 1 and me at the 2, and Calca at the 3. So it's honestly spotty.
So
it's spotty. Like sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't.
They seed like top 3 that they
and
know.
They just kind of throw everyone else in there, and they put Justice at the 18 seed. Wait, they're 18? Why was he at 18? Were there more than 16 people?
I guess there were more than 16 people. Did he like?
Oh yeah. There's like probably 19 or 20.
I was gonna say that was a pretty big bracket.
I think it was like 19.
Yeah,
I legitimately think it was like 19.
Well, regardless.
Anyway,
they put him at like very low.
They put him like last or low.
So he fights you round 2.
And so yeah, I was like, wait a minute. And so this is all dawning on me as Candles the TO was like, yeah, we're starting, blah 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 blah. So everything's locked. And then I look at the bracket, and I'm like, cool, man. So he had a prelim round, and then he played me. He went Ike. Went to game 3 super close, and he ended up taking that set, and so then I had to go all the way through losers run and meet him again. Chasen played, Silent Rain played him, and 3-0'd him.
Yep.
Yeah, he just went bail and played against Justice's playstyle.
Don't need to approach against Justice.
And he was telling me about how to deal with how Justice plays and stuff, and understanding what it actually like, what's going on, and ways to counter it. And so I ended up playing against him in losers finals, and he went Marth. He didn't go Ike, and he just wanted to play Marth. And I ended up taking that 3-1, playing a completely different playstyle.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, no, it's just part of the game, man. If they don't adapt, they don't adapt, right? And I really hope. I was talking to Justin. I really hope he comes back. I was trying to get him to come back and stuff. He's thinking about it. He's really thinking about it, actually. And
MFC would like that too, I'm sure.
That'd be great, dude. I miss it, man. I miss that crew. And so then we ended up playing Silent Rain, and that went to game 5. He was telling me I was playing much more patient because I just got done.
You just got done fighting Justice,
and so I was like taking my time.
Maybe you gotta take like a drink of water or something in between each set.
I was drinking water throughout.
Just like refresh, like make sure you're not using the adaptations you got off of a different opponent on somebody you just.
Oh, okay. In this case, it helped me though because it was like a general adaptation. Sure. It wasn't like a crazy specific thing on Justice. It was like a general. You should be doing this more, right? And then I was playing that to Chasen, and I don't think Jason was ready for that. And I almost beat him game 4, and then he won. And then game 5 was last stock, last hit, and then and he ended up winning. So, but it was super fun. I feel really good with my play. So that's how my week's gone. So yeah.
Are you going to Salem tomorrow?
Yes.
Nope.
Are you?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
We might go by and pick up.
I'm trying to win that.
Yeah.
Jason and Jared
are not here. Let's go. So and then onto our final topic here before we go on to our main subject of today.
What about your week?
Well, I mean, like, my week was, I didn't do anything. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I didn't do anything.
It's all good.
I went to school.
You breathed.
Yeah.
You took breaths.
I took a drink.
Yeah.
A single drink of water.
A little sippity sip. A little tap-a-roo.
Tippity tap.
Shout out to Jason. Anyway, inside joke. All right.
It's not gonna stay inside as long as we keep saying it on stream.
Well, no one knows what it means, so it just... And it's outside but encrypted, like Lamel. No one's gonna see. Like, anyway.
I didn't do anything, but Salem is having its 4-year anniversary.
It's exciting.
Which is gonna be 2 weeks of big brackets.
Yeah. So I found out. I thought this was just 2 weeks of Smash 4. One of them doesn't have Smash 4.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow's does.
Tomorrow's
and
the
then
Smash
the other
Four, and
one
then
is like
next week
PM
is...
and Melee or something like that.
Oh, okay. You know what? That's
Actually,
interesting. That makes
Silent
sense.
Rain and I are actually going to try to enter the PM bracket. Someone donated $100 prop bonus, and we're going to practice that.
Let's go. For doubles?
For no,
Just for singles.
Like we're going to train and then try to win money.
Let's go.
So honestly,
That
it's
sounds
not
like
it's
fun.
not a good idea to primarily just go for money in this scene because it's not like abundant. But you never know what can happen in the future. But regardless, like if there's a pop bonus,
I mean, Chasen's
there's a
fiend.
pop bonus. Chase, yeah. I mean, like why not? Like,
Chasen's won PM brackets in there before.
has he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, he like took Jaxus to like game 10.
Yep. And we were super late.
Yeah. I hope he destroys someone or just gets bodied because I'm not trying to wait.
Yeah. You know.
But yeah.
Yeah, and then so my week, I literally I've been doing near nothing. Kind of in the middle, in between jobs, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working, but I'm looking to switch employers.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work there, and then it's just schoolwork.
That's not nothing. That's not
Smash related.
That's not nothing. That's big. No, that's good.
But it's not a lot of stuff to talk about. It's just like paperwork, resumes,
Trees,
filling out
pencils,
words,
scribbles. All right. So, and then last thing I just want to say, my week is also going in the sense, non-Smash related, in the sense of the Blazers being down 3-0 because they decided to be terrible once playoffs started.
I was really tempted to make a story in 5 tweets of the 5 tweets.
You can do that by all means. Because that was game 2.
Because that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
because it was like, come on, they can do this.
I was like, fuck. It was bad, dude. And then game 3 was terrible because they went back to New Orleans. They got their asses whooped. It was so bad. It was like, do I know this team? Lillard was terrible.
That sucks.
Everyone was. McCollum was okay-ish, but still worse than mediocre. They were all bad. They all fell apart. They had literally 3 or 4 turnovers in a row. Fast-paced. They just dropped it over and over. And I think the problem was, to make this sort of Smash-related last thing. When you feel like your offense becomes your defense, you're defensively offensive, and you're really not, you're being too tentative, you're just not getting anything, and you're too scared to go for stuff. Yeah. That's literally what happened to them. They were just I don't want to mess up. Then they messed up. Sometimes, literally, in the wise words of the great Jared is King, who is traveling to California right now, probably there. Sometimes you just gotta eat, and they started to eventually way too late. Way too late. They were down by 30, bro. I don't even remember what the final score was. I think they ended up losing by 17. They brought it a little bit, but it was way too late.
That's actually ridiculous.
So bad. I was doing my paper. I was writing my paper, and then I was watching the game. I was like, oh man, they're down by 12, whatever, bro. And then I'm like, it doesn't look good, but there's always hope because there's always time. I check in a quarter later, it's 72 to 102. I'm like, what is this junk?
It's a really high-scoring game.
It was bad. It's not good. That just means Portland can't defend. They were really good with it before. But anyway, this isn't a Blazers podcast. This is a Smash podcast.
You got your Blazers hoodie on.
I saw this, and I was like, oh yeah, triggered. Yeah, and so... Repressed memories resurfacing violently.
Rest in peace, Blazers.
Yeah, no team in the history of the NBA has ever come back from... No one has ever reverse 4-0'd. The only team to get ever close to do it...
Really, never?
Never. And the only team to ever get close to doing it was the Blazers. Back in 2000 or something.
And so they got their 3 games.
They were down against the Lakers 3-0, but that was a really good team. And... This was right before the jail Blazers happened.
Right. Okay.
And then they brought it to 3-3. And they went back to LA and they were ahead by 14 in the 4th. Going into the 4th. And they lost.
Oh my god.
And they lost. I'm glad I was young enough to not really understand how bad that was. I was mad that they lost, but I didn't understand just the severity of it.
God.
And I was told about it and watched some videos. I was really mad. But anyway.
Dang.
All right. Let's segue.
I didn't know about that one.
That's terrible.
I didn't know about that one. Rip.
Yeah. That was when they had Rashid and Bonzi, Brian Grant, Arvydas Sabonis. That was a good team. And then they ended up getting Darius Miles and some people. And then they all got... Damian Stoudemire was there too. And they all got in trouble for weed. Went to jail.
The devil's lettuce.
I remember there was one story last thing where Damon Stoudemire straight up got like caught like smuggling weed in the airport when he was trying to leave by putting it, get this, in aluminum foil, which was the funniest shit because he had to.
That'll set off the
I know, yeah. I think he was too high, dude. Like I legit, like that's the funny part. I was like, wait, what?
Oh my god.
That was one event, just to give you a taste of like what the Jailblazers era was for any NBA fans who are watching this. Anyway, or who end up watching this.
Superb.
Anyway,
for some reason that's funnier than if he just got caught.
Yeah.
Like
the fact that he used
aluminum
metal
foil
to wrap something and try to get away with it as it passed through a metal detector. Underrated story. Anyway,
that's really funny.
Remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so
we're talking about
our main subject today is player personalities and how it relates to their playstyles. And so this is something that's really it's not like a hard science, but you can there's like a general correlation between a playstyle from an unpracticed player and their personality once they know what they're doing, right? And over time, as a player, gets better. Generally, they can learn to adapt and change their play style
and harness it too.
But there's also like not like an unattainable kind of like you can't like change your base instincts, right?
No.
For what you kind of like feel like how the game should be played, right?
Yeah, but you can harness it to benefit you the most, based on what you know about the game.
Yeah, and so this is something that M2 and I were talking about in the car. We decided it'd be a good podcast topic. Driving back from like a tournament at Quarter World or something.
Was it Quarter World?
Yeah,
I think it was.
We were driving back from Quarter World back to my place and talking about like player playstyles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we were having like a really good conversation about it. And I was like, we need to stop right here
and talk about
this on the podcast instead.
Yeah.
So I think a really good example of like player personality into playstyle it happens with like some of like the prodigies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, it's like they haven't had as much time to develop their play in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or their play style is a lot more like personalized and unique because of it.
Yeah.
So like when like Conga, for example, is really good.
Yeah.
He's great. And one of his defining features is like how like calm and collected he is practically at all times, right? And this is now this is not a 1-to-1. I'm not trying to say that the reason he does this particular thing in game is because of his personality and nothing else. But like you can get a sense of his personality through his playstyle.
Yeah, you can see
how and that's really what I'm talking about. And one of the things he likes to do that I see him do in a lot of like high level sets is he'll just like stand there and literally do nothing.
Yeah. He's very calm, but at the same time he's very striking, like just like quick in the moment as well, but he gets a read on someone and then makes quick snap decisions. Like that one set with Ned at Port Priority 2.
That's the best example I can think of.
Yeah, where he just kind of waited and Ned was in ding dong, and he threw Ned off because he understood the flow of the match.
This is a clip that's at this point pretty famous. Ned's playing Zero Suit Samus in Grand Finals against Conga, and shoots a paralyzer at him from across the stage, and Conga stands there. He doesn't even shield. He just lets the paralyzer like vanish, like literally like an inch in front of his face.
He knew the spacing,
He knew the spacing, and then Ned like goes in to make use of the pressure that he thought he had, by shooting a paralyzer, and Conga just like walks forward and grabs him and ding dongs him,
and just grabbed him
it
was like a good 2 second like wait.
Yeah, he stood there doing nothing for like 2 seconds,
2 to 3 seconds. Yeah, it was wild.
And that's the best example of that. But he also did that. There was a Mountainside Games stream. I forgot the name of the tournament. In I think BC, where Casas Mas was fighting Conga.
Was that Cascade?
Yeah, that was Cascade. And he did it against him as well. Not the same thing exactly, but he just stood there and didn't do anything, and let Casas Mas land basically.
Yeah.
And then like went in for a mix up after that. And it's not necessarily like you don't get a positional advantage, you don't get like a tempo advantage, you don't get a positioning advantage. But you get
That's more of like a
like it's like it makes your opponent stop for a second and be like, what is he gonna do?
Yeah,
right.
And it's also
and they're constantly gonna be doing that. Like if they're good, right? They're constantly gonna be doing that in the game regardless. But when you stop like that and make your opponent recognize that you aren't doing anything and that you could do something, then they have to like then like the question like comes to the forefront of the attention of the opponent. Like, what are they going to do out of this?
It's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of psychology behind it too, because like it's like you're saying, it's not really a stage control thing, it's not a game mechanic thing, it's a player versus player thing, and trying to psychologically throw off your opponent. A lot of emotional regulation that goes on when you're playing a set, especially something like Smash or whatever. And doing something out of the ordinary that isn't necessarily bad based on like understanding the data that you've processed in the set prior to it is actually good, because then there's a chance you can emotionally dysregulate your opponent, be like, what are they, and that, honestly, I don't do any studies on this.
Well, I mean,
it can affect reaction time, it can affect a lot of other things, and it can just overlap. That's what I mean when I say like throw your opponent off. And I don't think Ned probably was second guessing himself in those like moments, you know what I mean? It was really fast, right? But in those moments, Ned was like, what? Like, because there was a flow. There was definitely a flow if you look back to that set, like, as to how things were going, and then Konga just does this. And that's, honestly, it's like, there's a saying that Deku from the Deku Tree guy, not from Zelda literally, but like he's a YouTuber who posts like neutral stuff and a lot of game mechanics. Deku Tree. He talks about seeing the forest, not the trees. Yeah, like that's what Konga was doing there. He's just like, okay, well, they've been doing this. There's all these moves, all this stuff, all of these like certain like neutral things, and then there's this whole thing about like, based on this intuition I have and how he's playing and how that could reflect on like the body language of a person's as it's manifested in their character and what they decide to do. Seeing that and being like, okay, this is gonna throw him off. And I'm sure like if we talked to Konga about this, he wouldn't be like, this was going through my head, blah blah blah. But you know, it's like an intuition thing, and that's what makes him very good. And most of these top players don't really like cognitively think about it, but they've understood it on a cognitive level, and it's so ingrained in their heads that they just play it.
I think the way that it seems to me that it works for this particular thing that Konga does, where he just stands there and does nothing, it for the opponent, it seems like suddenly like the forest and the trees thing, for like as an analogy, one of the trees just gets really big, and you're like, wait, hold on, and
what's going on?
Then for a second you're looking at the tree instead of
it shifts focus, it shifts possibly, exactly,
and it changes the mindset enough for the opponent to like take advantage of their imbalance. And that's my best example, honestly, of this kind of subject. And
see, like that kind of tactic, it's not like an end all be all, right? Because, for example,
you can't do it more than like once.
And also, it depends on like there's the personality, right, of a player. And then there's the character that they're using and how much that character allows their personality to really work, right? For example, I love rushdown characters, right? That's why I play Fox, I play Sheik. I like the fast characters, good frame data. Not necessarily heavy hitting, although Fox is... Fox hits hard.
Fox hits very hard.
Not necessarily why I play him, but... And so... There's that, right? But let's say, like, I love rushdown characters. If I tried to implement that, like, I went back to Link or whatever, that doesn't work. Like, if it does, it's not it's not efficient, and I'd get bodied trying to play that against a really good player. And so, it's that also matters too. And so I think, like, understanding that, Konga definitely understood that when he was playing against Ned. Ned was playing Zero Suit very fast, very rushed, and I actually like that character based on what I said about the rushdown. And he was like, if I slow this down, like, she's fast enough to react to something I might do, but is Ned gonna be ready to react to something that I might do, right? Like, what good is the character if you've thrown off the player, right? So, and that's something. But, like, for example, I don't think Konga would do something like that necessarily, or in that exact way, against, like, maybe Toon Link, because Toon Link's kind of fast, but, like, against Link or against some slower zoning kind of character. He'd have a different strategy, you know what I mean? So, like, understanding that, right? So, like, you have your personality, you have what you know you like to do, what you can do well, and then you have understanding how that really would work against the character you're playing against and against the player who's using that character. Because there could be Zero Suits out there, right? And with Zero Suit, what makes her good is like a lot of different playstyles can happen from her, right? She can be very campy. She can be very aggressive rushdown, right? You can get the I can't really think of a campy Zero Suit. I don't know if Bankai is campy. I really can't. Like
Campy Zero
like Latai. Latai's the closest thing. If you see sets, he's very like zony. He uses Zero a lot. Like, he just like keeps you away, right? So you have that, and then you have like Nairo.
Mars.
Yeah. And so like that also, like, I think the personality really does affect how like a character's strength, or a character how good a character is, if they're top tier, mid tier, whatever, is really affected by how flexible they are with a person's personality, like, and how efficient they are regardless of different personality traits and different personality and different play styles. So like Latai does well as a campy-ish Zero Suit.
Yeah.
Nairo obviously does well. Mars obviously does well with an overall rushdown Zero Suit. Yep. So things like that too, and understanding that, right? So like if you're playing against I don't know, like Bowser Jr. or Jigglypuff or some like slow frame data, slow stuff, right? Like, you understand, like, some rushdown player, some person who likes to be like in it, you know what I mean? Like super, like, just aggressive. Yeah. You know that you don't really have to think too hard about that, because that character can't do anything, and it like can't really accommodate that kind of demand, right? And if they go for that kind of thing, then Lamau, like it's very exploitable, right? Because the character is not suited for that. And so you kind of going in like, okay, this is kind of the playstyle. This is how Bowser Jr.'s do things best. This is how Jigglypuffs do things best, stuff like that. And so I think that's also important to see. You don't have to work too hard. Just work smart. Understand the filters that happen, you know? Like, if a character's booty and people are using that, then there's certain playstyles that they are pretty much, at some certain cases, like, forced to use. So,
yeet. That's definitely, like, a good example of like how personality ties into like which character you would choose,
yeah, and being prepared for it, you know?
Yeah. So when this game comes out,
Smash 5,
a lot of people are gonna like migrate to characters that they've already played before.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, when this game comes out, Smash 5, but there might also be new characters added in. So for an example, I think that the Splatoon, the Inklings, are going to be fast-ish, and they're going to be like zoning based, right? They've got the weapons, they've got the guns.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. How good their zoning tools are, and what that'll force them to become, you know.
But like in terms of playstyle, like Splatoon's really fast, right?
Yeah.
You'd say it's really fast, and
I'd say it's fast.
And the general movement of the characters is pretty like fluid and dynamic. However, but they use like weapons and guns, which is traditionally for Smash has been like a zoning, like patient playstyle. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this like fast zoner works, and how annoying this character is gonna be to fight. You know,
it depends on frame data too. Like, they could be running fast, but I don't know how fast their guns are. For example, one hypothesis is that like their F smash, like they'd be switching, their movesets would be switching between weapons. Like, they're not going to get one weapon, right? So, for example, their F smash could be like the roller. You know, like, I'm going to lock this in and guarantee that that's exactly what that's going to be.
We'll go ahead and
have
to 100% lock this one in.
And it's Jimmy Neutron. Shout out to Donkey. Today's 420, so... Not 420. Lamau. Anyway,
you been on Twitter yet today?
Yeah, that's what I remembered it for. For example, the roller in Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
Easy F smash. Down
so.
Smash, I don't know... I don't know.
Bucket.
For down smash?
Yeah.
You say rocket?
Bucket.
Oh, bucket? Yeah. Like, they'd be like, just, like spin it around or something.
Like spin it around.
Yeah, I could see that. We're not going to get too much into the moveset, but like things like that. Yeah.
I think it's likely that this character is going to be either going to be really good or really bad. Split like the Inklings because they either are fast and have the tools, or they're fast and they don't have the tools. But I feel like they're going to be fast.
You're going to be fast.
And if you're fast but you don't have the tools to really like do anything with it, then you can't. All you can do is run away. But if you're fast and you have tools,
like try to hard mix up and hope they mess up, but that's not reliable.
It reminds me of Bowser Jr.'s like pretty fast. but
Yeah, he's faster.
just doesn't have the tools to really like do good pressure or get like the kills that you need.
Palutena. Like, Palutena actually's got good frame data overall, but just she's very limited. Her movesets are like cut in half, like the viable ones. And so,
yeah, half her moves are viable.
Yeah, I'm saying
the other
like
half
her
are just
horrible.
horrible.
Yeah, exactly. And so
she comes out as quite bad because you need a lot of good tools.
Yep.
And not just enough good tools, right?
Yep.
Or some good tools.
Yep.
And so I'd say though that like there's going to be what I'm trying to go for here is that Smash 5 is probably going to cater to a different general average playstyle than Smash 4. As well as in Melee, like it's going to be different.
Hopefully it's a more rushdown one.
So what we've been seeing in Smash 4 is that patience is very rewarded, especially with the characters like Bayonetta and Fox and Sonic being very good, as well as Sheik. You know, these are all top 5-ish characters.
Yeah.
Either in top 5 or contending for top 5.
Yeah.
That have very, very good pressure, have very, very good, stall game, are fast, and can, and they reward patience, fighting against them and fighting as them.
Yep.
And so we've seen a rise in those number of mains doing well, and sticking around because those characters have the ability to perform well in tournament. That personality and playstyle are rewarded. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing a rise in the number of people that have that personality and playstyle in the public eye.
Yep.
Right? Brawl had a similar situation in that patience, again, was rewarded really well.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little bit more deadly if you messed up, so you got a lot of people that would go for hard reads to try and get their opponents over and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that, so there was kind of it was a different demographic, I think.
Gotcha.
But it was very similar. And then Melee is really fast and rewards technical play.
Yeah.
But also quick decision making and aggressive pressure. And
I hope Smash 5 is like that. Not necessarily with the mechanics. I don't want people to have to wave dash.
Well, I'm just saying,
it
seems like it's going to be faster than Smash 4.
I hope it
just
is.
Based on the characters that they've put out.
Yeah.
And it also seems like they're going to also reward zoning play based on the characters that they've been putting out.
As long as it's fast, you know what I mean?
So you
don't want it to be so patient that it puts people to it, it slows things to a crawl. You know what I mean? Because that can happen in Smash 4.
Well, we're just gonna have to see how it works out. What I'm predicting here is that Smash 5 is going to reward a different style of play than Smash 4.
I hope you're right, and I hope that difference is this faster.
But to that end, I think that the dominant strategy in Smash 4 currently is patient play.
Yeah.
And getting the most out of your opportunities. And abusing the systems in the game to your advantage.
Yep.
Which is a form of technical play.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It is.
And so
it's game knowledge and technical play.
And so that sounds very basic, but there's a difference in priorities.
Yep.
Between Smash 4 and Melee here that is, in my opinion, pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
In Smash 4, you need to play patient foremost, I think. You can really get messed up by top level. You can. Really
Are you assuming if you're meeting someone, you don't know them, you don't have much info on them, and it's game 1? Yeah.
Whereas in Melee, patient play is generally rewarded, because you'll make less mistakes and stuff, but also you can just kind of get overrun.
Yeah, you don't want to be too patient.
You can get ran over.
You want to just make decisions. And
the conventional pressure in Melee is strong enough to where you don't have time to be patient because there's something.
The downloading happens much faster. The downloading attempts.
Yeah, and because
the game is just faster.
Well, not even that. It's just if you get hit at all, then you have a stock.
You're in
gone,
10 years of hits
right?
done.
And so you can't make those kinds of decisions slowly. You have to make those kinds of decisions quickly, which, I said, rewards aggressive
playstyle,
mindset, and personality.
So there's
And
the meta.
in Smash 4, when you see aggressive personalities play the game, they kind of have to resort to non-standard play
Mm-hmm.
in order to throw their opponent off balance before they can get their aggressive play going.
Yeah.
They can't play aggressively conventionally because that doesn't work.
Nope.
And I think that's like a good example of how
Yeah.
this game is different, right?
Yeah.
Those aggressive players that are successful have to be so against the system rather than helped by it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so that's my little speech on how the games are different and how the different games reward different playstyles.
It's really interesting because what we're essentially all talking about is the filters that allow for personality to shine through in a Smash game. Right?
Yeah.
This probably works for fighting games in general, but
any game, yeah,
any structured, organized thing. So there's what we were talking about, like the overall meta and the playstyle of the game itself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the pace that it allows you, that it tends to reward versus punish, right? And then there are the characters in them too, like, which also further filters, right, which we were talking about before.
Right.
And then there's the personality itself, and then understanding your opponent. So it goes to a very, like, just broad game, the game itself and the knowledge about it and what that allows. The characters within the game and how they can bend the game and influence the overall understanding of the game, and then the opponents who use those characters. So I'd say that's pretty much like what it would be filtered down to. And I think that's what makes for very interesting playstyles in different Smash games. So
it's definitely like this subject is kind of hard to talk about, like, objectively.
It's pretty abstract. Yeah.
It's definitely like everything we say here has like some level of assumption.
Yeah, and
or basic, or like only
we're not
like basic level.
Once again, like, it's not a hard science or anything. Like, we're just kind of discussing our thoughts on it and just on our observations, which is going to be limited and is going to be subjective.
But it's interesting.
So, like,
it's interesting to think about.
It is
in terms of like
the theorizing is awesome.
Like in terms of like why players are successful and how they're successful.
Yeah.
And a lot of it actually does come down to like their personality and
Mm-hmm.
if they like as well as like enjoyment of the game can come down to personality as well.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if you're not competitive, you're probably not going to enjoy Smash Brothers as a competitive game.
No.
As much as you would if you are competitive, right? And that's a very basic like personality trait that translates into
Which you're right.
like into the game. A majority of people, I'd say, are competitive and get into the game for competitive reasons.
Yep.
Right? At least partially because of competitive reasons. And those people are more likely to do well in tournament.
Yep.
Because they'll have the personality that rewards, the style of the lifestyle of a successful tournament.
Personality combined with knowledge, because then they'll understand what they need to do, and if their personality matches their goals, then they'll have the discipline. They'll understand what to do. They'll figure out. They'll seek out what to do.
Yeah.
And then they'll typically do better.
And so personality can affect like how much you enjoy a game, which can affect how good you are at that game,
Mm-hmm.
and that can also affect
how much you invest too. I mean,
well, how much you invest, but like mainly like that's like a secondary.
yeah.
Whereas like enjoyment and like initial skill level can really be affected.
That's true.
And so some other top players that are like really their personality shines through in terms of like how they play.
Mm-hmm.
Another good example I think is Light,
Mm-hmm.
and another good example.
Fox, dude.
I think another good example is like Void.
Yeah.
Nairo, like a lot of these really like top players that exemplify their character.
Yeah.
Right? Have that intense personality.
Mm-hmm.
At least publicly. I don't know Light personally, but he comes off as
Aggressive, enthusiastic,
yeah,
in it to win it, very vocal, unapologetic.
Yep.
Kind of like Fox's up airs and up tilts.
yeah. Like
And
the
fair foots.
generally the outwards personality at
Yeah.
least matches up with the characters.
Yep.
Personality and And Nintendo designs their characters in a way, like most fighting games, where the character's personality is displayed through that character's moveset.
Yeah.
And what moves they have in their framed in and stuff depends on their personality to such a degree that if you have a similar personality to a character, you're likely to enjoy that character as a playstyle.
And I think that comes also down to how well a character overall is designed even before Smash.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yes.
in the original series of a certain game or whatever, like, if their personality matches the things they do, then Smash is just a model of that, you know, when they decide to make the movesets and stuff. And then also, if Sakurai didn't make their movesets match really their original game, then they could also come off as bad too. So
I'd say that Smash overall does a really good job of like matching player playstyles with character personality.
And Everest also saying like Elegant and Luigi.
That's a good another
really
good
one. That's a good one.
Like I said, like most of like the main of a character, right? Like Elegant is the Luigi, right?
Yeah.
Right? And
it matches
like,
too.
And at this point, Light and Larry are the two foxes.
Different ones, but yeah, going back to that.
But Fox at this has
versatile.
Two multiple playstyles like that work well, and they both represent two of them.
Yep.
Like we said, Void. Like we said, Nairo.
Yep.
And yeah, so a lot of the like main like playstyles, right? Obviously, transfer to characters really, really, really effectively, and you can kind of tell when looking at a player playing the game what their personality might be, right?
Yep. You can get
not like a deep way, but in like a base level way.
Jungian therapy right here. It's like,
is that what it is?
I'm INFP. What are you?
You're gonna have
like
to explain
Myers,
that.
Myers-Briggs personality test. Like where you like
you're the psychologist or whatever.
Well, no, this it's a common thing. No, I got you. It's like a common thing that comes from Jungian therapy. But anyway, basically you get asked questions. It's a questionnaire. You get asked questions, and then from there they can get an idea of your personality type.
So you learn about that in college, and
I learned that online, dude.
And I learned about how to coil cables effectively.
My boy, you know, like
that's
different.
just how it is.
Yeah. You just take that test. It's free. Like you just find it. Myers-Briggs. Anyway, and INFP, or that's actually what I am. But anyway, so I is like introvert / and then E is extrovert, and then N is like.
I feel like I've probably taken this at some point.
I'm sure you've seen this. Like you've at least seen it. It's very like common. You know what I mean? It's common. I'm sure you like once you see.
You know, what would be interesting is to get like a random person and try to assign them a main based on their personality and see how like effective that is and how much they enjoy
how they
the
like
game.
it. Yeah.
Ooh, let's do a study. Let's do a study. Get some random college students that don't play Smash Brothers. Have them take that test.
But they have to like games. They have to like games though. Like I don't know. Like how do we screen this? Like the screening is also important here because they don't want to not ever play games because then they would be like, "What am I doing?"
Maybe like fighting game players that don't.
They don't play Smash. Yeah, that's smart.
Bam. We might have to make a video on this. That actually sounds like a blast.
If we get melee players but that don't play Smash 4, we already know we're either giving them Fox or Sheik or we're
No.
Not Fox.
We need to get a good wide variety of people.
And if they play Ice Climbers, they'd like some zone. Well, no, not zoning. They'd like Mario. They like Mario.
Who?
Smash 4 Mario. Ice Climbers.
In
They'd like Smash 4 Mario, or they'd like Rosa. Nah, they'd like Smash 4 Mario. You know why? Because of the grabs. The grabs.
All right. Well.
Anyway.
There's obviously more to this subject, but we are not currently in a place to make broad accusations or write scientific papers about the scientific benefits of personality traits related to gaming mains in fighting games.
Yeah.
But like you said, soon. This has been No Items. This is Artie.
This is M2.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeet.